I'm an archaeologist who studies human skeletons. My research is inspired by a desire to understand, document, and witness how people organize society in the past. Humans are really complex creatures, and how we interact, create community, and wield power over each other is central to our lives. And what's cool is that a lot of these experiences are recorded on our bones. So my research studying human skeletons is able to tell the stories of people who aren't included in history books and might not otherwise have a voice.
Our project is seeking to demonstrate that discrimination against Black Muslims and against African diaspora religions, so religions like Cuban Santeria, Haitian Vodou, and Brazilian Candomblé, that this discrimination is more than religious intolerance. It's actually a form of racism. Our project centers on trying to bring together members of these religious communities to talk about how to raise awareness about discrimination against them, and also how we can develop solutions to combat it.
The goal of my research is to understand the underlying causes of Alzheimer's disease and other neurocognitive disorders. We as society desperately need treatment options that stop or even slow the progression of these diseases. I hope that my research will help identify new potential therapeutics for these devastating disorders.
Fluorescence is what inspires my research. Whether that's a lightning bug on a summer night or the OLED screen on your phone, they're both related. In my lab, we've recently discovered a new family of fluorescent molecules. Here they are in solution. They're being studied for cell imaging, as photocatalysts, and for energy storage. And it's not only their bright fluorescence that inspires our work. It's the power of chemistry and nanoscience, allowing us to make small molecular changes to help solve big biological or energy challenges.
I have always been concerned with the life outcomes, the experiences, and the opportunities that low-wage Black workers face in our society. So it's really important that we enact some policy and some practices that can better support these workers, not just so that they can serve us in the capacity that they serve us as an essential worker, but also so they can have the most fulfilling life possible as equal and valuable members of our society.
Hi, I'm Dr. Christine Salkin-Davis. I study communication between people who are dying, their families, and their caregivers. I became an academic to do my part to make the world better for people who are hurting, discarded, and disadvantaged. My work gives voice to the voiceless, understanding to the misunderstood, and compassion to those who have been forgotten. My scholarship helps people to have better deaths and better lives.
I'm a coastal geologist. Traditionally, scientists with a background similar to mine would have worked in the petroleum industry. Instead, I use fossils and sediments to solve environmental problems and historical problems. I'm interested in things like sea level rise and hurricane strikes, but over the time period of thousands of years. I'm also interested in how geology, specifically rocks and sediments, influenced the combat and the tactics during the American Civil War.
I'm a historian. My research examines the China-US tea trade in the 19th century. I hope my research will refresh people's memory of tea consumption in the United States after the American Revolution, which is a forgotten tradition in this coffee drinking nation. It also highlights the significance of the China-US trading relations from the very beginning of their encounter.
My research on active and quantitative microscopy is motivated by the rapid challenges driven by chronic diseases and the recent pandemic. These health challenges demand for a new generation of microscopes that adapt themselves to provide an optimum image with quantitative and specific content. This will accelerate research in microbiology and enable faster and more accurate medical diagnosis.
My research will hopefully lead to better mathematical and statistical models of the complex dynamic processes in the world around us. In the short term, we hope that this research helps improve models of disease dynamics for diseases like COVID-19 and malaria. In the long term, we hope that our theoretical research will lay the foundations for the models of the future.
Problematic alcohol use generally occurs in group settings, but often people don't stop others from pursuing this harmful behavior. And we really don't have a good understanding as to why, when, and where this lack of response occurs. So my current project attempts to do just that. This information is critically needed before effective interventions for bystanders can be developed and evaluated. With this project, we ultimately hope to reduce the amount of harm college students may experience as a result of problematic alcohol use.
My group works with proteins. We select biologically important proteins and we determine how structure, dynamics, and interactions with different partners define protein function. Because if we know how things work, we can fix them. And so, informed by our results, we or others can design medications that would fix malfunctioning proteins.